What's up guys, Houndish here, and today, Destiny 2 got a new update. This is Hotfix 7.0.0.3. If I'm not mistaken, this is the first hotfix that we've had for the game since the launch of Lightfall. These can sometimes be pretty big updates, or at least fix quite a number of issues. The one today touches on a couple of important things, although the list of changes isn't absolutely massive, so temper expectations on that front. Safe to say, Bungie have fixed a couple of bugs that work to our advantage, including some adjustments to the Silkstrike super, so hunters are being taken down a notch. Also a fix for where players were able to duplicate heavy ammo, and a couple of other things. So we'll break down the hotfix from today in the video, guys. As always, I hope this one is useful at least, and if you want to be kept up to date with more Destiny news, be sure to get subscribed to the channel, but otherwise, let's jump into it. And so the hotfix has just dropped in the game, although as far as I know the servers may still be offline for a couple of hours. There have been a few reports of folks signing in, and upon getting to the character screen, their characters aren't actually visible, and essentially it looks like a brand new account. So quick warning right there, I would avoid signing in until Bungie give us the thumbs up that the servers are back online. That's as much as I can say right now. Bungie haven't commented on it, but definitely bear it in mind. And initially for changes and gameplay and investment, Bungie have said they fixed an issue where the Silkstrike Super's light attack was doing hidden double damage, and they've removed the critical strike at the tip of the dart, and instead have granted the critical strike behavior to the full length of the dart, so the damage has been tuned to compensate. And so no more absolutely broken levels of damage from that super, presumably. Although it's safe to say, most of the Strand supers are very good in terms of damage at base, so I certainly wouldn't worry about it suddenly becoming terrible. On top of that though, they say they fixed an issue where Arcstrider's disorienting blow melee ability was not costing energy on hit, and so another hunter fix right there. But also they fixed a problem where the Lightfall quest previously only tracked the campaign version of the Hypernet current strike, and it will now progress upon completion of any version of the strike. And that was a bug that was blocking progress of the campaign for some players, so it's good that it's fixed. Another issue that some folks have been having is one that causes the commendation screen to crash, so that one's been fixed. There are still reports of players, especially on PS4, getting crashes in the open world, especially during the Vex Incursion event on Neptune. Bungie haven't said anything additional about that just yet. Then for weapons, they fixed a problem where the Manticore, Season of the Seraph Season Pass exotic weapon, was missing from collections. And finally for armor, they fixed a problem where the element-focused armor mods would deactivate when spawning into an activity or respawning after a death. That was a pretty annoying one, so it's positive that that's been sorted out. Another good one is that they fixed a problem where the seasonal artifact could cost Glimmer to reset, and those resets should now be free. But then they fixed a problem where scavenger armor mods were incorrectly activating in Crucible game modes, and a problem where players were able to duplicate ammo drops. And with the new raid launching tomorrow, I'm sure some of these issues were things that Bungie were fairly eager to get sorted in advance. And so there we go guys, that is the hotfix. I'm sure Bungie will probably have another one in the next week or so, addressing more of the issues that we've identified and are running into constantly in Lightfall. But at least a couple of the important ones have been adjusted today, so give us your thoughts down below. A final couple of mentions right here, guys. Of course, yesterday, or should I say last night, Bungie had to temporarily bring D2 offline as they were looking into problems with error codes, inability to log in, and even logging queues. So there was some weird bugginess last night, but those issues are fixed now, as well of course as the changes inside of the hotfix. Another quick thing to mention, but there is a new Prime Gaming drop for Destiny 2 this month. It has just gone live, so it includes the Popcorn exotic emote, as well as the Barebones SL-19, and that's the exotic Sparrow. A pretty cool ship here, Andromeda Gleaming, which is a legendary ship, and also a Ghost projection, which is the Defiance projection. So a couple of cosmetic items right there that you might want to pick up. And if you have Amazon Prime, and of course Prime Gaming, and connect that to your Bungie account, you'll be able to claim those rewards. So I'll link the Prime Gaming page down below. Finally though, Bungie posted a new video breaking down some of the cinematic content in Lightfall and showing off a little bit of how it was produced and captured, so worth checking that one out in full as well. That's linked below, but there's a section right here which is pretty cool where they talk about the Witness and Callus. So we'll run that at the end of the video, but for today, that's everything we have to speak about. So as always, I hope you've enjoyed this one. Good to see a few changes right there, so share your thoughts in the comment section. And if you want to keep up to date with things related to Destiny 2, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon down below so I can keep you posted. Otherwise though, thank you for tuning in, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.
We're shooting somebody jumping, but they're jumping horizontally, and we're shooting them jumping vertically and getting that sense of gravity because you're seeing somebody dangling from something.
Right.
You get that authentic sense of them dangling.
It's hard to sell that kind of weight from nothing. So yeah, super awesome that we got a professional in there to do all the tumbles and the dives.
What mocap does is a miracle in itself, but it still requires so much to get to where you want it to be, and that's what animators are doing.
There's a common misconception that we kind of shoot mocap and that's what we ship out the door, but that's absolutely not the case. Mocap gets us about 50% of the way there, but then there's a lot of work that has to be done from the animation side to go in there, and plus the performance.
I understand what's at stake, Lightbearer. Not all of us have lives to spare.
People don't realize that animators are also performers. You're doing acting, so that contribution is so critical to it, and people often, I think, take it for granted or assume it happened automatically, but it definitely doesn't.
Yeah, there's a lot of hand authoring and hand keying of performances on top of that mocap data that has to be done in order to like really make it sing.
What is that?
The witness is here, and in Lightfall, we get to spend time with the witness in a way that we haven't yet.
It's just so reserved and deliberate with its movements. There's no facial expressions. It's just gliding across the floor. There's no sense of weight. A lot of its expressions come from its hands and its fingers, and controls everything from all these like cool hand poses that it does.
Everything is this very intentional movement. And then in contrast to that, Callus is one of our brash, sort of more theatrical villains.
And what beauty!
He takes up a lot of space. He's big with his movements. So we tried to incorporate lots of like big hand movements. He's got these massive shoulder pads that, you know, we try to emphasize and exaggerate the motions of to like really sell his like weightiness.
The other thing that we were pretty ambitious about is locations. So we have to do a lot of sort of creative problem solving to find locations to shoot, and we tackled that in a way that I haven't really seen us do before. There's a real-time montage in this that's very hard to pull off. And we're showing all of our characters preparing for this big battle, and we pulled it off.
Yeah, and now that we know how to do it, you know, we can do it again for a future release.
No promises. We picked a few really technical challenges to tackle for this, and the team nailed it.
I definitely think we're going so much bigger with everything in our cinematics, and Lightfall definitely continues this trend that we've been having throughout the year of doing really different things with our cinematics and putting our characters into different scenarios beyond just having a dialogue with each other.
Things get pretty wild, and we were able to show things that are very unique visually. It's pretty amazing we're able to pull off so much.